Welcome, YouTube, to another exciting game of Deaths of Athazar, the greatest card game in the Middle East. And this game is between Bandar Ali and Thamir Alanizi. This game was played at Al village here in Khobar, Saudi Arabia, in the Eastern Province. Bandar and Thamir got in contact with me because they both saw my ads on our Instagram page. And they are both fans of card games, and they reached out to me to give it a try. And I asked them if they would like to be recorded, if their game could be recorded, so I can record it for the YouTube channel. And they said that that was fine. Bandar is a student at the university, and Thamir is engineer in training for Aramco, the largest oil company in the world here in Saudi Arabia, and they have their offices and facilities and oil fields here in the Eastern Province. So let's go ahead and take a look at this game between Bandar and Thamir. So as always, the game starts off with 7 cards. Each player is dealt 7 cards, and Thamir ends up getting a pair of warriors and a pair of brawlers with a hunter, and Bandar has that awful djinn and the assassin and the magician. Now, looking at Bandar's hand, remember we want to try to kind of use our strategies that we like to emphasize here on the channel. One of the things that we talked about is which cards to pass to the other player. Each game starts with the pass phase. And because Bandar doesn't have any matches at the moment, what he wants to do is pass that magician along so that he can get a better position to kill other cards. Um, Even though he has the djinn is not much of a problem for him right now because he has the assassin. And if he's smart, he will go ahead and kill that djinn as one of his first kills. And because Thamir has the hunter card, it is quite obvious he's going to kind of hold on to that card to be used to be passed during the pass phase. And that is how we start every game. Uh, the game starts with the pass phase, which is each player takes 1 card and pass it to the player on their right. And if they have the hunter card, they are allowed to pass the hunter +1, thereby passing 2. All right, so we start with the pass phase. Thamir went ahead and passed the hunter brawler, and Thamir passed the hunter brawler, and Bandar passed the magician. And because Thamir had a pair of warriors, he went ahead and decided to go ahead and use his magician to eliminate his warrior. And Bandar did the most obvious thing, was to get rid of that djinn as soon as possible. What's interesting about this game, and you're going to see as we go through the video, is this game is a perfect example of how passing the hunter back and forth is going to be bad for you. All right. Even though the hunter is one of those disruption cards that can help you, it can keep your opponent from winning the game. That's true. But um, the hunter is one of those cards that's like a double-edged sword. You don't want to keep him too long. You don't want to keep him in the game too long because eventually, if you use him and you think you're using him to hurt your opponent, it's just gonna keep coming back to you because he's gonna take that hunter and use it back against you. All right. So the thing about the hunter is you have to know when to keep him in your hand and for how long, because if you keep him in your hand too long, he will keep you from winning the game. All right. So let's see here. Now, after they do the play, then each player gets a card, 1 card from the deck called during the deal phase. Thamir gets a wise man, and Bandar gets a renegade. Okay, and then again they do the pass, and watch what happens. Bandar went ahead and passed the hunter brawler, and Thamir passed the wise man. All right. Then on Bandar's turn, he went ahead and used his warrior to kill off the renegade, and Thamir respond with Archer killing a brawler. Then they did the deal phase. Bandar gets an assassin, and Thamir gets a renegade. Just a side note, I was just asking Thamir how's it going at Aramco, and uh, he actually loves the job. It's a very dirty job, but uh, he gets paid a lot of money. uh, and I know that people at Aramco get paid very well because I used to, I didn't used to work for Aramco, but I was kind of like, how would you say, a subcontractor of Aramco. So I wasn't really making the big bucks like the people who actually work for the company, but but uh, they do pay very well over there. Uh, Pretty much in Saudi Arabia, everything that you do, most of the jobs are kind of centered around the oil industry. Saudi Arabia is a country that right now pretty much is primarily dependent on one resource, which is the oil. But uh, I've been here for about 9 years now, and there's been a lot of changes in the 9 years since I've been here. And one of the things that they're doing, which is a positive step, is they are expand. They're trying to diversify their economy, so their whole economy will not be dependent on oil. And so one of the industries that's growing right here in Saudi Arabia is the entertainment industry. Um, the young generation now are into video games, movies, films, music videos. So you have a lot of young Saudis who are getting into advertising, marketing, media, um, education. If you go on YouTube, there are a lot of young Saudis who are doing instructional videos and things like that. Um, so again, they are making very positive steps on diversifying their economy. Uh, Saudi Arabia actually is one of the uh, well, if you're Saudi, the country has not yet opened up to foreign investors in the sense that it's not like UAE. In UAE, if you're a foreigner, you can go to that country and just fill out some paperwork, and you can start your own business. Uh, well, you can't really start your own business. You can't start your own business by yourself. Um, in the Middle East, if you want to start your business in the Middle East, the way it works is uh, you can start your business, but at least 51% of your company has to belong to an Arab partner. Um, Except for those areas that's set aside for foreigners called the free zone. But most entrepreneurs that work in the free zone are like multinational type companies, export import businesses, because you don't have to go through the rigmarole that other entrepreneurs have to go through to start a business. Because I tried to start a business here a couple of years ago, and it was just so much paperwork because I was a foreigner. Um, and even though I got some partners to come in with me, one of the things I kind of learned in Saudi Arabia that when you start a business in Saudi Arabia with a Saudi partner, pretty much the Saudi guy is just a name on a paper, and he rarely is going to do any work. He's just going to let the foreign guy do the work, and he just collects all the money. So that's pretty much how a lot of these Arab countries work, you know. But I mean, it's their country, it's their rules, and a lot of times when foreigners come to this country, they kind of know that situation. Uh, so some people come here just to start a business, just to get some experience, just to make a little money, And once they made their money, they they'll either sell the rest of their business to the Saudi guy, or and take their money and go back to their home country, or they'll just leave, or they'll just close it down and leave. Because there's a lot of entrepreneurs here in Saudi Arabia, a lot. And I guess you could say I'm considered one of them because of what I'm doing with this card game here. Okay, but I'm getting off topic here. All right, so let's get back to the game. So we went ahead and did the pass phase again. The Hunter Brawl is being passed again, and Thamir gets past the Renegade, and then on the play, Thamir takes his assassin. And then because Bandar sees that Thamir is down to one card, he goes ahead and uses an effect card. Okay, he uses his Prince, forcing Thamir to take from the deck, and he gets the Sorcerer. Bandar is playing very conservative here because what he's doing is he is utilizing one of the strategies from one of our videos that when you have a disruption card like the Prince, you want to kind of hold this kind of card in your hand. You don't want to kill him off or pass him along because you want to keep him just in case your opponent gets down to one or two cards, and you can basically stop that player from winning the game by playing the disruption card. So that's what he did for Thamir. All right, so after that, then they get the deal. Thamir gets a magician, and Bandar gets a brawler. Now, later on, the Bandar, I was asking Bandar why he was keeping two wise men. Why didn't he try to get rid of those? And he told me that he decided to try to keep the pairs in his hand because he was counting the cards. Now, one of the things that we can't see on the video, but we can see the actual game on the table. When the players play their hand on the table, the cards can be seen in the graveyard. So all the cards that they played on the table can be seen, even though we don't have it on the screen here because we uh, just didn't have enough room. But so Bandar was looking at the graveyard and he was counting the cards, trying to figure out which cards are left in the deck by looking at which cards were killed into the graveyard. Okay. All right. And looking at Thamir saying, when you have a magician, a sorcerer, and a renegade, uh, you probably want to pass the magician because the magician won't do him any good here. A magician is one of those cards that kill two cards that are the same. All right. So he just went ahead and passed it along. All right. And Thamir was probably thinking that passing the magician won't hurt him that much because Bandar already had like up to 6 cards. And even if you were to pass him a magician and the magician is used to kill off 2 of Bandar's cards, he still will not, Thamir will still be in a good position to win, be ahead in the game. Okay, so Bandar, as usual, well, as expected, used his magician to kill off the wise man, and Thamir responded with the sorcerer, giving him the renegade, trying to equalize the game. All right. Then on the deal, Bandar gets a sailor, Thamir gets another brawler, and again, just as it's been happening all throughout the game, the hunter and the brawler is being passed back and forth. All right, but this time Thamir ends up getting 2 brawlers, which means that is a dead hand. So he had to pass his turn, and Bandar went ahead and used his renegade to kill the sailor. Okay. And then on the deal phase, Bandar gets Thamir gets the assassin, and Bandar gets the merchant. They do the pass. Again, the hunter brawler comes over, and Thamir passes over the brawler. Now, see what's happening here when you have this hunter brawler going back and forth. It's keeping each guy, it's preventing each, both Bandar and Thamir from eliminating their cards as fast as they want. because now at this point they pretty much know what they have in their hands by passing the Brawler Hunter. Right? So they're trying to be very careful, hoping for a miracle. All right, so Bandar went ahead and took his assassin and killed off his merchant. At this stage, the merchant is really not beneficial in a game like this. You don't, because he already down to 3 cards. He's obviously not going to use a merchant to exchange uh, 2 cards for 4. Thamir went ahead and used his assassin to kill the Brawler, leaving Brawler, and Hunter. All right. Bandar ends up getting the Warrior 20, and Thamir ends up getting a Sailor. All right. Now, again, the Hunter Brawler again is being passed. Bandar knew that he was in a pretty sticky situation here. All right. Because the thing that he was worried about was the 3rd card that Thamir had. Bandar knew he had a Brawler Hunter, but that last card, he did not know what Thamir had. And he ends up getting a Warrior 20, which is essentially a card that can kill any card in the game except a prince or a princess. And he has a Brawler. Okay, so he's trying to figure out what to do here. All right. If he knew what Thamir's that 3rd card was, he pretty much doesn't have a choice. But between the Warrior and the Brawler, he's going to have to pass the Brawler over. Because he knew that he was going to get this Brawler Hunter. And because he has those 2 kill cards, he doesn't have an effect card to kind of stop Thamir from being in a good position. So he's just kind of hoping that if he passes this Brawler over, that Thamir has a card, that Thamir has that Thamir's final card cannot be harmed by the Brawler. All right, so they do the pass. And yeah, see, there was nothing at this point. There was nothing Bandar could do, because no matter what he passed, Thamir, whatever card Bandar passed him, he could use that card to kill. All right, and basically, Thamir plays Brawler, kills Sailor, winning the game. All right, so see what happens when you are constantly playing Hunter Brawlers back and forth to each other. They eventually become a nuisance and keep you from winning the game. So I always tell players that if you're in a game where the Hunter or Brawler is being passed back and forth more than 2 times or more than 3 times, just go ahead and kill that Hunter off and try to use another effect card. All right. Because it is going to eventually harm you. Okay, so that's Deaths of Athazar. If you would like to purchase the game, just go to www.doacardgame.com. Our Arabian design decks are now 20% off, so you can get a little discount from here through the beginning of the year. The game that that you see in these videos, these are the examples of the Arabian design. And if you want to see more videos or like our videos, just go ahead and click, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and hit the notification button so we can let you know when the next video comes. We got some. I got some other plans on what type of other videos that I want to do for this card game, and one of the ideas I had was I'm going to do more videos that deals with kind of like puzzle games, where I'm going to give you a set of cards and going to ask you, and we're going to analyze and go through a game on, and we're going to use these videos to help you analyze which cards to play. All right, we'll do. It'll be a video where we'll do kind of like a simulation game. And see, in these videos, we are allowed to see what both players have in their hands. But I'm thinking that we're going to do a video, a simulation where you can see just the bottom part and um, the top player, all his cards will be hidden. And based on uh, the hidden cards, you're going to have to figure out which cards to play best in order to win the game. And I'm going to try to figure out how I can kind of make these videos just a little bit more condensed so you can see a graveyard. So I think I was maybe put like the graveyard cards on the right hand side, but we'll see. All right. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.